Kevin, on a less jocular note, there was an awful um, air uh,
Yeah.
catastrophe this week when a an army helicopter collided.
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk collided with a passenger plane. No survivors over Washington.
I think it was a Canadian regional that they hit. I think it was an American Airlines Canadian regional.
What's the number? 67 right now. I thought I saw
Yeah.
something like that.
Um. Did any? I mean, I saw that there was some figure skaters that were on that
Yeah,
flight.
they were like award-winning figure skaters.
Yeah. They said that one of the people that unfortunately perished. Um. It just like finished a triple axle, like, and then got on the plane. It just,
Yeah, I saw some video of them
yeah.
before they boarded the flight.
So, just because we're talking about it, there was a another plane crash in Philly,
Philly, yeah. Just
and
today, just before
so
we went
so
on.
my yeah, so my wife sent me a text, and it was in fact a Lear jet. It was a Lear 55, and it was a medical plane.
Meaning that they was transporting someone who was ill.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
brother.
she just said it was a medical plane. So yeah,
Well,
so it's time to. I guess we're gonna fire all the FAA people.
yeah, I mean, I don't do even want to give play to the stupidity that came out of the White House. You can
No,
always count on this White House for the
no,
most
no,
stupid, knee jerk, shock
no.
value bullshit, ready to offend anyone. I do want to call out one thing, and I'm not going to blame the White House for this because it wasn't the White House, but it was certainly like-minded people, given the vilification of anyone who has a sexuality or gender,
Ugh.
unlike those who are in power. Um, so this trans woman, unfortunately, who was a soldier, um, I don't know how it snowballed, but her name actually became one of the most searched hashtags on X with plenty of disgusting commentary. They said that the helicopter it must have crashed because it was being piloted by Joe Ellis, who was a trans pilot for the military. This woman uh, is alive and was not the pilot. I don't know how it began, but she had to take to social media, and of course, her reply gets completely drowned out
Of course.
by the uprising against her. And she kind of had to say, "Proof of life here. This is me today. I was not in this." And but
Yeah, and I'm sure she said proof of life, and they said, yeah, prove it. I just did. No, that's just not good enough.
but the instinctive thing you got from the White House was this crash was because of DEI with no evidence. FAA, nobody had any evidence of what happened.
Yeah, it was probably one of those DEI Tuskegee
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 Airmen
airmen. Yeah,
or a
in the
descendant of
yeah in
who
the
was
in the Black
responsible.
Hawk, and the only reason they were flying the Black Hawk was because they saw the video that was reinstated, giving the history of this Tuskegee airmen. So easy for me to say.
I don't. I just I want to say quickly. I don't think that precluding people on the basis of race is correct. I do have issues with the DEI movement as it's gone out of control.
It's gone
But
out of control, but I'm just fucking tired. It's there's so many people down like down here right now, and they're really enjoying the beach, and everybody's got a smile on their face, and it's really a good time. And I think that I was talking to my wife, and I said, Tam, I said, she said, what do you think? Is there something in town this weekend? I said, yeah. I said, it's Americans that are finally over this bullshit election, and we're all moving forward, and we really are. I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight anymore. So like my shit's over. You know, I'm not walking around with my Harris hat on,
Hmm.
though it is fucking sweet and camouflage. Um, but I'm also I'm not a part of the fucking Reich. You know,
Hmm.
but just can we just maybe just tone back the fucking absolute ignorant hatred? Just to fucking just be just like, why would we have to be so hateful about everything?
Well, no, it's coming back because you have the day of a crash saying it's probably because of DEI.
Yeah, just hatred.
Yeah, the knee jerk, no evidence, nothing, and I don't know. I don't think jobs should be given or precluded from anyone on the basis of race, and that's got to work both ways. We learned a long time it doesn't work the one way, so it's got to work the other. You know what? If Harvard has a lot of Asian kids that applied and they had the best scores, they fucking go in. Okay, enough of the bullshit. However, the knee jerk blaming on this is
That's
what gives
really
implicit permission for everyone in the country now.
if you take if you just let those that qualify and all of our higher education becomes Asians, who's gonna protest pro Hamas on those
On the
campuses?
campuses, we need to have them represented
Yeah.
on campuses.
So it's it's that the pro Hamas white kids, you know.
God, please, 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 DEI, never attack, never turn your sights on the NBA. I do not want a court full of white men. It's okay that it is disproportionate. If that entire damn team is talented black men in the NBA, let them be a team.
Ain't nobody paying a bunch of scrub white boys that kind of cash.
No, I will be happy to watch and participate. If they earn the spot on that team, I don't care what they look like. Let's let it be an entertaining game. Please don't make them put half the team white guys. But look what would happen to boxing. Jesus
Could you
Christ.
imagine if LeBron was a white ginger?
No.
That's what,
Or a black ginger. Remember Dennis Johnson? Was there an
yeah.
uglier man? I mean, I was a
Well,
Celtics fan. But,
he
and
was
then the freckles didn't help
that
either.
motherfucker. I see. I remember him with the Sonics, and that that dude would D you up. I mean, 130 feet. The court's 94. I'm picking you up in the locker room.
He would run right. He'd stay with you the whole way down, right?
Oh
DJ
man,
was great. I love DJ.
you
Wouldn't want to
never
look like him.
you never saw him cross his feet. He moved in those 6 to 8 inch. That I mean, he was just man. He was working, and he was a big fucker.
You know, he was big around too. You know,
No, you're thinking of Charles Dudley.
no. I'm thinking of Dennis.
No, Dennis was maybe it was the last 1 or 2
DJ was,
years.
but he was playing point, right?
He played, yeah, but he played two. But he would play anywhere. He would play three. Like they put him on Jordan. Like he was just. I think we. I think the probably the best defensive guy that was able to handle Jordan was probably Dumars. Like Dumars from the Pistons kind of had Jordan's number. They could.
What Cooper was a great defensive player too, right? Michael
Yeah,
Cooper, Lakers.
Cooper, but Cooper was a little frail. He could be. I mean, and especially in that era, he could get back
Mm,
down.
you're right, right.
You know,
He was skinny.
But Coop always had Kareem behind him. So if you got by him, then you got to get by the big fella.
Correct. Correct.